Hello everyone, my name is Easton Dias and you're like Basic Marine Engineering. Today I want to discuss on a hydrophore system, what exact cares we have to take, what precautions and how we have to take care of hydrophore. I wanted to do this video yesterday on Sunday, but I was not well, so I had to do it today. As yesterday was a teacher's day, and I wanted to tribute this video to all my teachers. And I will also, urge you all to respect all your teachers. Doesn't matter, they might not be your teacher, they might be your second engineer, third engineer, and they might have taught you in some way. Many a times what happens is the method of teaching is different on ship. They might tell you to run around or find out this, find out that. And believe me, at that point of time you might not like those methods, but after a long period of time, when you have sailed up the rank, when you go up the rank, you will realize that that method was the best method of teaching. And even though they might have made you to run here and there, maybe you might have felt it was for selfish reasons, but still, it is still the best method. When you are told to go around and find out certain things, in that process what happens is many a times you learn new things. And always remember, whenever you do certain thing on your own, when you think or do certain things or you learn certain things on your own, you never forget them. Okay. And many a times when you're tracing lines, when you're running around, trying to find out how to solve the problem, you yourself, make your mind a little bit more better, or you sharpen your mind, so that you can become a better engineer. Okay, going for to the topic now. Today I wanted to discuss on hydrophore system. Hydrophore systems are very important. We have freshwater hydrophore, we have drinking water hydrophore. Sometimes we also have technical water hydrophore. Basically, for the guys who don't know what is technical water just means the water which is supplied for the engine room. Okay, so we have such kind of things. Sometimes you might just have one hydrophore tank, and that might be supplying for everything. Or sometimes you might have hydrophore, freshwater hydrophore, and drinking water hydrophore. Now, to understand the concept, first of all, you have to know one thing very clearly, that in a hydrophore, we have almost 75 to 80% water, and rest 1/3% or 25% you can say is air. And that ratio is kind of the perfect ratio if you want your hydrophore to work properly. Now suppose the water in the tank is less. Let's say in the hydrophore, if you keep water less, now what actually happens is, if that is the case, sometimes when your water level drops down, it might drop down very low, and your pump might lose suction, because then whatever air is present in the hydrophore, that might go inside your pump. Now suppose if you keep the hydrophore level inside the hydrophore, if you keep the water level very high, okay, now what will happen if you have very high water level and almost no air? Let's say you don't have any air. Now I will just like to remind you guys that air is compressible, water is not. So this is the principle which is used inside that. Now whenever you are using hydrophore, what is the purpose of hydrophore? It supplies water for different places. Okay, for your bathing, for your washing machine, for your maybe galley, different places this water is supplied. Now what actually happens is, when someone consumes this water, there will be directly pressure drop which is happening. If when there is air, what happens, the pressure drop is gradual. Okay, but if just water is there inside the tank, because water is not compressible, the pressure drop and rise takes place very fast. And because of that, whenever someone will just open his tap, at that start the pressure will be high, and suddenly then you will have a pressure drop, and it could happen that people who are there on the top floors might not get water. For that reason, we require that percentage of air. So what will happen is, whenever water is getting consumed, that pressure drop will be gradual, because there is certain quantity of air inside, and the water level will not fluctuate very fast. It will go from up to down. Okay, the level will move from a certain height to a very low height. If just water is there, then what will happen is the fluctuation will be very less. So the start and stop of the pump which is happening, the pump which is filling the hydrophore, that start stop will be between very less level difference. Whereas if you have air inside, the difference at which it start stops will be at a higher point. So for that reason, we need air inside the hydrophore. Now, many a times, you will see that your side glass, which is there across the hydrophore, is completely colored or you cannot see at all. Okay. Another method of knowing where your water level is there, you have to touch with the back of your palm. Okay. It is difficult. It is not very easy. It is easy if you're in cold countries. If you're around cold weather, it's very, very easy. You just touch it and you can feel it where the water level is there. But if you're in warm countries, it is slightly difficult. But if you keep touching, as soon as the water level ends and you have air inside the chamber, you will see a slight difference. So like that also you can come to know how to, where is the water level. Now, suppose you want to change over the tank, you want to change over the tank. Now, what is actually happening? You have your freshwater tanks in one corner, then you have your freshwater pumps. The freshwater pumps, what they do? They take water from your freshwater tanks and fill it in your hydrophore. Hydrophore is charged with air. That pressure is enough to supply water to your wherever it needs. Now, whenever you want to change over tanks, first of all, what you will have to do, make sure your pump is either stop or in manual position. You go to the tank which is supposed to be changeover. So whichever tank you want to take suction, that has to be open. But before that, what you will have to do is close the tank which is right now in suction. Okay, right now which is in use, that tank suction valve is shut, then open to the one which you want to put the tank in use. And then you can put your pump into auto mode. So this is how you will do the changeover. You can directly do the changeover, but if the tanks are close by, their water can get equalized. So just take care about that. Now, sometimes what can happen is when your hydrophore, was running and you had not paid attention and the water level of the tank went completely down and the pump lost suction because there was no water inside the tank. Now, in this case, what you will have to do is you will have to, what will happen is here the water level also might have gone down. The pump has also lost suction. So in this case, you will have to first of all start the hydrophore as if you're starting from the start position. So in that context, what you will have to do is first of all vent off the hydrophore. Okay. So on the top you have the vent. So what you will do, you will vent off the air. Okay. Once you have vented off the air, what will happen is now your water can flow and you will have to prime the pump. So open the water, the vent is open. So what is going to happen is slowly the water will come, the pump will get vented off, it will vent out through your hydrophore. So once that happens, then you can close your vent. Okay, run the pump, build up the pressure, or fill the hydrophore to around 70-75%, and then you can charge air. Now, depending upon after you have charged air, the level will move slightly down. So accordingly, you will have to charge and charge air or charge your water, depending upon what is required. So accordingly, you can maintain the balance. Once that is done, make sure you have shut the vent properly, because many a times, the problem happens because of the vent also. So shut the vent properly, shut your air valve properly, make sure that it is not leaking. Another problem which comes with your hydrophore is many a times you charge air and after some point of time you realize that the air is gone and suddenly there is only water inside the hydrophore, and because of that the pump will cut out very fast. Now this is not a good sign because that can damage your pump also. The pump is not designed to run like that, especially start stop. Okay, if it is running continuously, it's a different thing, but still we don't want the pump to be running continuously. The design is not meant for that. So what we want the pump cut out to be delayed. So what we'll have to do, we will have to check from where we are losing air, because obviously somewhere we are losing air, and that's the reason the bottle is getting more filled with, the hydrophore tank is getting more filled with water. So first of all, you will have to check your vent. So you can use some kind of means to check that. You can use one, you can touch your hand and see if it is not visible through that. Also, the leakage is very small. What you can do is you can use a balloon. You can put a balloon on top. So if air is leaking from there, the balloon will start filling up. It can also happen that your relief valve is leaking, so you can check that. But normally relief valve will be at a slightly, the output will be down, so you can make out from there. If the relief valve is on the higher side and it is on the air side, and it is still leaking, you can use the same method. So if you put a balloon, you'll come to know whether it is leaking or not. Arrest the leak, whatever is required. If you want to lap the valve, you have to lap the valve or change the valve. And accordingly, once you have arrested the leak, then only charge the air. And look, in this system, we don't need the air throughout. A certain quantity of air is charged and that remains there. We don't need to keep on adding again and again air. Okay, if that is happening, that means somewhere air is leaking. So make sure you take care by doing that. Try to find out from where you're losing the air and then arrest the air. Try to keep your pumps in good condition. If you allow your pumps to run cut in cut out, the pump will definitely go bad and then you will have to overhaul them. So make sure you're taking care of your machinery. Whenever you're taking around, make sure you check the water level. Where exactly is the water level? That is very, very important. Make sure you check the amps of the pump when it's starting. Maybe you are not there during that point of time, but make sure you wait for some time and check whether the pump pump current is proper or not. So check that properly and just check the water level. And if you find that the air is leaking, you do report and try to sort out the problem so that you maintain your machinery well. Okay, suppose if you guys had any other problem, do write down. I will like to comment, maybe I have missed it out. And if you have any other suggestions, do write down. If you have watched this video, if you're watching till now, give a thumbs up and be safe till my next video. Best of luck, take care, bye.